Thank you for joining me in the garage. Today, we tackle the task of installing some helicoils in some stripped out threads in this cylinder head back here. Now, I know what you're thinking. This guy must be a certified mechanic. Well, let me dispel those rumors right now. I'm in no way a professional at this at all, and I have zero idea what I'm doing. But I still appreciate you for watching. So please like and subscribe, share this channel with everybody. We are so close to getting monetized and happen until you start sharing this channel. So please like, subscribe, and share. So how exactly did we get here? That's a great question. Now, if you're new to this channel, welcome. But if you've been around for a while, you know that we built this 1981 Honda CB650 Cafe Racer a while ago. And one of those things we did was fix some oil leaks by replacing some internal seals. Now, the good news is that repair worked, and I didn't have any oil leaks for a while, but the bad news is we got some more oil leaks that were much worse than they were before. Now, I think what happened was when I was putting the valve cover back on, I probably over-tightened a few bolts and stripped some threads. But today we're gonna fix that. And you know when I say we're gonna fix that, well, I just feel like you guys are always right here by my side, working with me in the garage all day long, and I just love that. So when I was running this bike a few weeks ago, I noticed oil kind of old faithfuling out from around this bolt right here, this one right here. So I thought incorrectly, I must have forgot to torque this bad Larry down when I put the valve cover back on. So let me just go ahead and torque and see if that fixes the issue. Only it didn't. It was snug for a second and then it spun and spun and spun and spun, and now it's just, you can see what I'm dealing with here. There's still the threads in or wrapped around the bolt. You don't have to be a mechanic to know that's not good. So now we'll fix it. So actually the first thing I'm gonna do is go around to every single other bolt on here and make sure they're properly torqued to see if any other threads are damaged or not, because I didn't realize I did that at the time. So maybe there's other issues going on too. So I'll kind of take my time and check all the bolts to see what's going on. Man, I am just making matters worse. Now we have a broken bolt in there. And I'm pretty sure that one's broken too. So it turns out 2 broken bolts and 1 stripped bolt. This one doesn't appear to be broken, just stripped. So I think that leaves our count 2 stripped and 1 broken. Look what we have here. The broken bolt. So now all I have to do is figure out how to install helicoils and then install them and then bolt everything back up, torque it correctly now, get the bike on the road. All right, I do have this rethread kit for kind of cleaning out threads. So I'm gonna run the 6 down these holes and clean them out. For all the ones I'm not replacing, I'm gonna clean out the threads a little bit to make sure they're clean and it seats properly, because this one does look a little gnarly. It looks gnarly because they're trashed. So there's another one. All right, so I went through and cleaned out all the threads of all the good threads. And final count, 3 helicoils we got to toss in there. None on the left side, all on the right side. I don't know if that means anything or if that's coincidence or what, but I think the first step of replacing the helicoil or installing a new helicoil is to drill out the old threads. But the first thing I'm going to do is tape off everything so I don't get any little metal fragments down inside the motor. I don't really know if that's going to do anything, but probably better than nothing. I do believe that's what we're after. Okay, before we get started, I want to measure how deep the hole is, mark the drill bit so I don't go too far into the cylinder head. All right, first one's drilled out, and that did not feel comfortable drilling straight in there like that. One false move and this whole thing's a disaster. But it looks like it turned out pretty good. A lot of metal shavings, but I got a little vacuum out and sucked out the hole, and I think we're good to go. 2 more to go. Okay, next up is check that the thread and pitch of the tap and the bolt match. Good idea. I'm not sure exactly how you're supposed to check that, but the helicoil insert slit, screwed, bolted, went right on. Brings us to step 3. Install the insert. Place insert on installation tool and position the adjustable ring so that the insert tang is centered in the tang slot. Now that makes sense. Wind the insert in with a light downward pressure until a half turn below the surface. Don't work against thread direction now, as that tang could break. And then tang removal is the final step. All right, so the holes are drilled, cleaned. I just watched a little video to make sure I was spot on how to do this, and it actually seems a lot easier than I thought. Just drilling into the engine just seems so unnatural, but here we are. So the next step is to 3 threads in there with the tapper, and then run the helicoil in, bust the tang, and I think we're good. Dang, That actually looks good. A little downward pressure. And they say just send it a little bit past the lip of the hole. All 3 helicoils are in. Now all we gotta do is punch the tang out, put the valve cover back on, and secure it. The tang destroyer. And just like that, the tangs have been destroyed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different bolt lengths just to put that valve cover back on. Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room. Well, elephant in the room. But yes, I shaved my beard. Okay, let's move on from that. Now, I did a lot of measuring and math and coloring and all kinds of things. Found out I broke one 35mm bolt and I'm missing another one somewhere here. So let's go get 2 new ones. You know, at the beginning of this process, I was super apprehensive about using these helicoils, mainly because I figured, you know, if you don't drill that hole right or get those threads just right, you're kind of screwing up your head, and obviously you don't want to do that. But as I started going, I realized it was kind of easy and it worked out really, really well. They torqued really well and everything seems to be perfect, and we don't have any more oil leaks around those bolts that were bad, which was so awesome. Now, the inverse of that is we still have a freaking oil leak. It looks like it's leaking out from around the head. So we got to fix yet another thing on this beastly motorcycle, and we'll do that in the next video. So again, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe and share these videos. We're so close to monetization, and once we get there, we can spread the love around the world in the form of charitable giving. So again, like, subscribe, share, and until next time, peace and love.